Great. So we want now to install the Oracle database software. To do that, there are several settings we need to change on our VirtualBox machine. So we come to settings here. One of it is display. To get a good display, you need to change this. After that, you need maybe to increase this maybe to 64 there. Okay. It will complain here, but don't worry about that. Then something else that I like doing is to have some shared folders. Now, there are two shared folders. I'll just show you what they contain that I always use. So there's a folder here called database software. I have put all the software there. One of it is the Oracle Database 19C software. So it's there. So I'm going to share that folder. I'm going to use it. And the other one is under scripts. There is this particular several scripts that I have here, leave alone these other setups. Then I have this, if you look at this bash profile script, we will need it on the other side. So we need to edit the bash when we are on our machine. So I have put it there so it just becomes easy for me to be able to do that. So those two folders, we need to share them. So to do that, under shared folder, you click add, choose, go to other, choose downloads, then DB software, select that, then choose auto mount, click OK, then add the other one. Auto mount also, OK. So that is all we need to do here. Then we start our machine. So we say OK, then we start our virtual machine. So you can see from the preview, the virtual machine is starting. So the Oracle Linux Server 7.3 VM is starting. So you can just log in as user James. Okay. So from here, we set the network to be on. Okay. And I'll open a terminal. I'll switch user to root. Then type hostname to see what is my hostname. My hostname is DB server. If you've not set a hostname, you can easily go to the etc hostname file and then edit that, but it still has the same hostname. So after that, I'm going to now install using YAM. So I'm going to do YAM install. Then I'll use the Oracle database. I pre-install a file. That's the one I'm going to run. Okay. If there's something it's doing. So Oracle database. So we got that Oracle database. We'll do the pre-install 19. So going to go to 19C. Good. So that one is running. So it's going to take some time to prepare the environment. So I'm going to pause this until when it is done. So one of the things it's going to do is going to create users and also create some special groups that we need. Okay. Great. You can see that now the setup is complete. So I'll clear the screen. So just clear that. Then if we read the etc password file where all the users are put, you can see there is now a user here called Oracle. This user has just been created. Okay. So we may need to put a password for that user. So we put passwd. So if we go to the etc passwd file where users are, you can see there's a user here called Oracle that has been created. Apart from user James, now we have a user called Oracle. So we need to change the password for that user. So we put passwd Oracle. Then we change the password put the password for that user because the user has been created, but they don't have a password. So we have set the password for that particular user, right? Okay. After setting the password for that user, the next thing we need to do is to disable SE Linux, the secure Linux. So to do that, I will edit the secure Linux config file. So you can see it is now at enforcing. So I will change that to disabled. So we save those changes. And the next thing I'm going to do is to disable the firewall. So system CTL, and then I stop firewall. Then after that, I disable the firewall. Okay, good. So that one is done. So I think for now, let me just reboot this and see if I can boot as user Oracle now. Now you can see, apart from user James, I have a user Oracle. So this is a user that we need to be using now to install the database. So I don't need user James anymore for now. So I'll just use user Oracle. So log in as user Oracle. Now, if you're not able to get the big screen, what you need to do is you need to go to, before that, we need to set this user up. So, because the first time that they are starting, so we need to go through the paces, that is all. So you go to applications and then you go to system tool settings. You can actually change the display, okay? So my display is at 1920 to 914. So you can change to anything near to that, what you think is fit for you, depending on your screen. And then you try to minimize and maximize this. It should be able to give you such a screen if you're not able to. Okay, so the other thing is I need to copy the software. Okay, so let me open two tabs here. From another tab. So I have two tabs, this tab and this particular tab. So the first tab here, rather on the second tab here, I want to cd to, sorry, let me make a directory in temp software. Okay. Now I come back here. I want to copy my softwares to that directory. Okay. So before that, I need to switch user to root. Then I will now cd to my media. Then I'll go to the DB software. So if we list there, you can see we have our 19C database, the zip file. So I want to copy it. So I will copy it recursively. So I will copy it recursively to that to software location, temp. So that will take some time. So I'll post that for them at the moment. So the software has been installed, and actually if we go to our second tab and we list, you can see we have the software is there, but the owner of this software is root in a group called root. So we need to change that. To do that, we use a chion command. Let's do that recursively. So we give the ownership to Oracle in a group or install. And then the file we want to give ownership is, the directory we want to give ownership is TMP Oracle software. So that should work. So that now when we go here and we try to list, we can see that now the owner is Oracle and the group is that. So let's also change the permissions. Use a chmod. Let's give the group, the owner, full permission and others. Then we give that to TMP Oracle. Okay. So that now if you look here, we long list, you can see there is changes even on the file permissions. Okay, now we're good. Now the other thing that we need to do is I'm going to make some directories. So I'll make a directory here. '01 app Oracle is going to be our Oracle home. Then we do one. So that's our home for the software setup. Okay. Then we need to make another directory here. For data. Sorry. Okay, so And after that, let me change the ownership. Simply to Oracle install for the two directories, U01 and also U02. Okay. So I give the ownership and also I give the permissions. Again for the two. Okay. Good. The other thing that I may want to do is from here, I can just type cd so that I go to the home directory. If I do pwd, I'm in home Oracle. From home Oracle, we can edit the bash profile. So we need to edit this so that we put some few things that we had. So we go back to our script here. We can open our long list. We can now cd one step, then cd to scripts. cdsf scripts. So this bash profile. So let's open this. So let's catch bash. Let's call profile. I want to copy all this from here. And I want to take them now to this place. Okay. You can decide to, decide to even type this on your own. Really, it's not an issue. You can decide to type and it's still the same thing, okay? So that is it. So let's save this file here. Then we source it. Good. So we can exit that. So we can exit this. Right. So I'll clear this and then I would want to reboot this machine again. Or rather, even without rebooting, let me log out. Let me just log out this so I can log out this user, Oracle, log out the user, and log in again as the same user. Just to make my changes to be permanent, just to be sure about that. Okay, cool. So once this one is up, we can now go to open a terminal here. If we echo home, you can see now this is our Oracle home. So the setup is okay. So I'll need to cd now to Oracle home. So from there, when you're now in Oracle home, we want to unzip our file. So to do that, our installation file. So to do that, we unzip with option then our path is temp software. It's that particular file, the zip file. So let's unzip it. So once the unzip is done, so we do the installer to be able to start the software to install the Oracle database software, okay? The tool rather, to install the Oracle database software. The tool is called Oracle Universal Installer. So we enter that. So you can see the 19C database is installing. Okay, so for here, I want us to choose install Oracle, install software only. Okay. Next. Single instance installation. Next. It's an enterprise edition. So that's going to be our Oracle base. We change nothing there. That's our inventory directory, so we don't change anything there. These are the special users that were created, so we don't change anything there. Now, earlier, you had to run these scripts manually, but in 19C, you can actually allow the installer to run the scripts for you. So all I do is just put the password for the root user, then it will run the scripts automatically. So it's just checking prerequisites if everything is okay. Let's hope everything is fine. There's two packages it's missing here, but we can just ignore this. I really don't think it's critical. So next. Are you sure you want to continue? Yes. Then you click on install. Okay, so the installation is going on, so this is going to take some time. So I'll pause this until when it is done again. Time for it to run the script, so it prompts me if it's okay to continue. So I say yes. Great, the software installation is done, so we close, and that is successful.